In the big blue ocean, two clownfish find a cozy den for their eggs. We still have to decide on names for the little ones that will be born, says Coral, the happy mother. I like Nemo. The father fish, Marlin, smiles at her, but their happiness does not last long. Suddenly, a big hungry fish approaches their den, and Coral, worried about their eggs, darts towards him. She must protect them. Coral, stop! Cries Marlin. But the big fish throws him against a rock, and Marlin is knocked out. When he wakes up, Coral is gone. There is only one egg left in the den. Only one. Marlin, heartbroken, takes the egg under his fin and whispers, Daddy's here. I promise I will never let anything happen to you, Nemo. Over the years, Nemo grows up and becomes a little fish full of life. Today is his first day of school, and he cannot wait to learn lots of new things. Oh boy, it's time for school, he shouts, waking up his dad. Marlin, on the other hand, is a very worried dad. He is always afraid that something bad will happen to Nemo. So he reminds Nemo that he must be careful, especially because he has one fin that's smaller than the other. Nemo, you know you can't swim well, Marlin tells him. I can swim fine, Dad, okay? Answers the little fish angrily. Oh, sometimes he just can't stand it, his dad being so worried. In fact, to show him he's not afraid of anything, Nemo swims up to a motorboat floating on the ocean surface, and he touches it with his fin. Nemo, get back here! Cries Marlin. At that moment, a diver wearing a mask and fins appears behind Nemo. And then another one appears. Help, Dad! Is all Nemo has time to say. Then one of the divers catches him in a net, and they swim back to the boat before Marlin can do anything. A moment later, the motor starts up. Nemo! No! Shouts Marlin, trying to follow the speedboat. But it's all for nothing. The boat quickly speeds off, leaving behind one of the diver's masks, which drops down into the sea. Marlin immediately begins the search for his son. Have you seen a boat? He asks everyone he meets. I have. Follow me, answers a little blue fish named Dory. Dory is kind and wants to help, but she has a problem. She immediately forgets everything. Marlin could really use a little luck. And then, as luck would have it, he finds the mask that fell from the boat. And it has something written on it. But where's Nemo? He's very far away from his dad. He's ended up in a fish tank with lots of other fish owned by a dentist called Dr. Sherman. The fish in the tank have a pelican friend called Nigel, who visits with news of what's going on in Sydney Harbor, the city they're in. Unfortunately, the tank fish have bad news for Nemo. The dentist wants to give him to his niece Darla. There's a photo of the little girl in the dentist's office, and everyone knows that Darla treats fish very badly. I can't go with that girl, cries Nemo. I have to get back to my dad. And upset, he ends up trapped in the tank filter. Gil, a big black and white fish, immediately encourages him. Come on, he says. Nemo gives it his all, swims and pushes until he gets out of the filter. Great! Gil now has an idea. Nemo will block the aquarium filter, which keeps the water clean. Dr. Sherman will have to empty the tank to clean it, which means putting the fish into bags. Then together, they will all roll out of the office window and reach the sea. Nemo immediately tries and slips into the filter. Now to block it, you have to stick a pebble in it. And small as he is, he makes it. I did it! He shouts happily. But suddenly the filter starts working again. Nemo is about to be dragged towards the blades and hurt. The other fish manage to save him just in time. Meanwhile, Dory manages to read what is written on the mask. P. Sherman, 42 Wallaby Way, Sydney, cries the fish. Nemo must be there at that address. Now they know where to go. Some big turtles help them. Climbing up on their shells, Marlin and Dory quickly get a long way with no trouble and tell their story in the meantime. The turtles tell other sea creatures the story of Nemo, the little lost fish, and by word of mouth, the story travels all the way to Sydney Harbor. Even Nigel the pelican hears it and flies straight to his fish tank friends. Your dad's been fighting the entire ocean looking for you, Nigel says to Nemo. Oh, now that the little fish knows, he can't wait to hug his brave dad. So he decides to try and block the filter again. And this time, he succeeds. Now the dentist will have to empty the tank to clean it, and the fish can try to escape. Meanwhile, at last, Marlin and Dory have arrived in Sydney Harbor. Nigel picks them up in his beak to take them to the tank and Nemo. But did the little fish and his friends manage to free themselves? No. Dr. Sherman cleaned the tank without emptying it. And he's put Nemo in a plastic bag ready to give him to the terrible Darla. But Nemo has an idea. He pretends to be dead and floats on his back. Unfortunately, it's at the very moment that his dad Marlin sees him, and it breaks his heart. He believes he has lost his little one forever. Darla takes the bag and shakes it. Why are you sleeping, fishy? She asks angrily. Wake up! Nemo is at risk of getting hurt, and his friends from the tank take action. They shoot Gil out of the tub, and he falls on Darla's head. There's a fish in my hair! She screams. The plastic bag falls, breaks, and Nemo ends up in a sink. Then, gliding along very long pipes, the little fish reaches the sea. Marlin is not far away. After saying goodbye to his friend Dory, he sadly swims home. He's sure he will never see his son again. However, Nemo soon bumps into Dory, who quickly takes him to his dad. There are hugs and much happiness. But the trouble is not over. Just at that moment, a large net captures Dory and many other fish. Nemo doesn't want to leave them in this mess and shouts, Dory, we have to tell everybody to swim down together, says Marlin, who understands what Nemo wants to do. All together, come on, swim down, down. The plan works. The net breaks open and Dory and the other fish are free again. Nemo's adventure has ended well. Now the little fish loves his dad more than ever, who has faced so many dangers to find him again. And he realizes that if you push yourself, you can overcome any problem. But hey, wait a minute. What about Gil and the other tank friends? One thing is sure, they are tough, and sooner or later they will be able to get back to the ocean, the great home of all fish.